Synergy, our true cloud, low-code, no-code business process automation platform. So Synergy is a permission-based system so that not everyone can see everything after they log into the system. Every user will have their own credentials for logging into the system, and also they will have different permissions based on the role, position, profession, department, or group of that users. As I'm now logging in as the admin so that I have the full control of the system. And after I log into Synergy, I can find all the pending tasks and also the request for approval on this home screen, which is in the widget on my left. In addition, you can see all the announcements that we made in the system and that has sent to your account. And we can always open this announcement and see what is the important message that the other want to share with you. And with the permission, you can also create a new announcement in Synergy. As you can create one by entering the subject, message, defining the status, and also the valid date. Once you save it, and this announcement will be sent to the recipient that you have chosen or to all the users in Synergy. So this is how you can keep your team and also all your colleagues up to date in terms of the news and also information. On our top left, this is the main menu of Synergy. And thanks to the modular structure of Synergy, you can pick and choose the module that you want to have and deploy or make it available in your instance. For example, the document management module, workflow management module, and also right here is the HR module, which will handle the Synergy user information and also permission in this module. And let us get into the workflow management module. You can see all the tasks that is assigned to you or that is waiting for your approval. And you can find all the notification that the system sent to your account. Also, you can find all the drafts, like the form that you filled in, and it is still in progress. You haven't sent this to the workflow yet, but you save it as a draft and you can get back to it and fill in the rest of the form when you are available. And to the history page, you can see all the tasks that you have sent out and keep tracking the status of your request. And you may ask, so we have our module and where we can find our business process digitized on Synergy. And you can find those applications at the bottom of this main menu. So these are some sample processes that we put together, and you can see the capability of Synergy. Technically, we can digitize any business process for any industry. For example, we have our expense management for HR purposes. We have our customer approval process. We have our quality control process. So those are some sample process that we put together, and you can see how capable Synergy is. And let me show you one of the examples here is the expense management application. As we can open our form, and you can see the system will retrieve the user ID and also the department automatically. And admin, which is my user account name. And this is my department, and the to-date date is captured by the system automatically as well. So by using Synergy, it's helped you to minimize the human error while you are entering the information manually. And instead, those will be done by the system automatically. And on the top right, you can also see the total amount. I cannot enter anything in this field. The reason why, because this is a field for the system to do the calculation and put the result here. And you will see this as an example in a minute. And now we can fill up the table at the bottom of our form. And we can fill up the form by filling up this page, which is a subform in this Synergy form. And by using Synergy, we can have different type of the fields in terms of entering the data. For example, we can have a drop-down list, which allows you to pick and choose the best item for this form or for this request. And all the items are configurable, which means you can always add, edit, or delete the items in this drop-down list. And you can pick and choose the date from the calendar, so that you don't have to enter it by manually. And also, we can avoid any conflict in terms of the date format. As in the US, we have our date format in as the month comes first, and then the date. And as for the European format, they go with the date and then the month. So we can avoid this kind of conflict while entering this date by choosing the date from the calendar. And Synergy supports different currency as well, so that we can pick and choose the currency here as dollar, lira, euro, or pound. And right here, we can enter our amount, for example, $100. And we can also use the arrow to increment the amount. And here, this is an open text box for you to enter the description. So you can enter whatever you want to have in this open text box. And I'm going to enter description, just description, and leave it there. Furthermore, you can attach your document from your local drive, for example, and then connect with this request. And on the top right, you can see the task box and see the progress of your task, like uploading or downloading, for example. And now the document is ready, and we can always open this up or deleting the document or download it back to the local. You can also pick and choose the document from the document management module as well, so that your attachment doesn't have to be coming from your local, and instead it can be coming from the document management module instead. And now once we are done, we can save it, and all the information will be filled into this table automatically. And the total amount is calculated by the system as well. And if we add another item, then the total amount will update accordingly. After that, we can send this out and put this into the workflow. Every business process that we digitize in Synergy has a unique workflow behind it. And we can always update the workflow and also the form design by using the studio of Synergy. And in this flow history page, you can see who we are waiting for and what is the status of our requests. And as I mentioned, we have a studio that we can update or design our form and also configure the workflow for our business process as well. So that we can go to the top right, and this is the admin menu. Then you will see the IDE stand for Integrate Development Environment. So you can connect to the studio by your web browser, which means you don't have to install any client version of the application or software. in order to manage the project or the workflow. So now I'm using my web browser and get into the studio, and I can open my project and start managing my project and also the workflow. For example, I'm going to open this one, which is our meeting room management application. And to our form, we have two sides. One is for the form and one is for the flow. So let me show you the form first. And I can open this one and you will see the form design here. And this is the form that we have now. And we can open the toolbox and add more field to our form. On our left, there's a different control icon. For example, we can add a new text box to our form. Or we can move them to another place, like we have a job combo box, and I want to move this on top of our text box. And the position of your fields will align in the form automatically. In addition, we can double click it and start managing the properties of our fields. For example, the caption that we want to have, like for this one, now it is text box 4, or now we want to call it like meeting subject, for example. And we can also manage the width and also the height of our fields, and also the font style and size. More option, like if this field is visible to the end user, if it is a mandatory field, if it is a read-only text box, and also the maximum length, like the characters that we can enter in this field, those can be managed in this property as well. And as for the combo box, I mentioned in my demonstration of the application, we can always add more items to our combo box. As right here, we can add some more items. Like we have an option as yes, no, and also maybe, for example. And we can save this, and these items are now available in your combo box. More icon, a control icon on our left, and we can use the drag and drop technology and put this on our form is the checkbox, the header, a text area, the date and time picker, or date range picker. We can select the start date and end date, for example, in one field from a calendar. And also we can have a switch, a rating, and this is a very nice control icon, for example, on your vendor evaluation form. And we can have our detail grid like a table. We can have a barcode, and we can also change the type of it. Instead of barcode, we want to have a QR code, and those can be managed in the property as well. So we can choose the code type to any other type in terms of this barcode. And we can also have an attachment field that allow the user to upload the documents as a reference to their requests. And before we generating this project or updating this project, we can go to the preview page and see how it will look like once we build this project and publish to the end user. As for the meeting subject, we can have an open text box. We can have a drop-down list and see all the items in this drop-down. We can have a date and time picker and pick up the date, a date range, select the time frame, and also the barcode or the QR code here. And if it looks good to you, then we can run and build our project and publish it to the end user, so that all the changes will be reflected on the user interface. So this is how we can manage the design of our form, and also we can manage our flow. Then we come to the flow side. And as for the flow, we can zoom in and out, have a better visibility. And let's say we want to add an approver before the flow end. Then we can open our toolbox and add the position. Just drag and drop on the flow and then connect them back. So let me zoom in here since we have different, okay, right here. And then we can connect them back. And then after that, the flow is updated. More control icon on the left is we can have an assignment, like ask the system to identify the manager of the requester automatically. And we can have a compare icon, which means we are depending on the value of the object on our form. Let's say the total amount. If it is greater than 100, then we take a route A. If it is not, we take a route B in our workflow. So this comparison can help you to do so automatically. Also, we have AND operator and also OR operator. For AND operator, like we sent our request to two approvers. So if we are using AND operator, which means we have to grant the approval from these two approvers. And if we are using the OR operator, which means either one of the approvers approved our request, then we can get into the next step. And you can see how capable Synergy is in terms of managing the workflow, since we have a very powerful workflow engine in the backend, so that we can digitize the workflow based upon the actual operation of your company. Then we get back to the user interface. To our main menu, we also have the document management module. And in this module, you can see the documents that you recently opened, and you can get a quick connection and start reading your document again. Furthermore, you can find your favorite document on this page so that you don't have to remember the whole path of your document, where you save it, where it is sitting. And instead, you can get a quick connection if you favorite your document in our system. And at the bottom, you can see all the library and also the folder that we have. And we can open our folder. As for viewing the document in that particular library or folder, and right here, as we can, it's properly I stayed idle on this page for a long while. And this is how our system keep your system secure as well, so that the system will lock you out automatically if you are not being active on this page. And it can be done by during the implementation, like how long the user can stay on the page. So now let me log in again. And there we go. So now these are all the library that we have, and I can open this up, and all the subfolders and also the file will be shown here. So Synergy support the user upload different document type to the system, like your invoices, contracts, bills, receipts, or training materials, and so on, in different file formats, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF, image, video, audio, CAD file, XML, JSON, for example. So those can be opened in the built-in browser of Synergy. And I will show you in a minute, as now we have a document and we can check this. and have certain operations to this document, like copy the document, moving from one folder to another, renaming it, delete the document, or download the document and share and add to the favorite list. And as I mentioned, this we can open the document in the built-in browser of Synergy. And this is my PDF file. Now I can open this in this built-in browser, and you don't have to install any software or application in terms of reading your document by using Synergy. At last, we go to the human resources module, where you can manage the information of all the Synergy users. Like this is my account, and I can double click it and update the information like the password, the username, department, email, and also the gender and first name and last name. So those can be managed in this module. And once you save it, all the information will update accordingly. You can also define different information like the position, department, and also company as for different instances in Synergy. As Synergy is also a multi-tenant system, so that we can also manage the information of the company here as well. And to the admin menu, we can have the security page where we can create different user group, a permission group, and add the member or the user as a member of this permission group. And as for this system administrators group, you can see the permission that we granted, like connect to the system, but the member in this group are not allowed to delegate any tasks or permission or authorization to any other users. And as for the integrated development environment, IDE, you can see if this, we can also manage the permission of connecting to the IDE as well. So this is how Synergy keeps your system as insecure, so that in the beginning of my demo, not everyone can see everything. And this is what the reason why, and this is how we can manage the permissions. Synergy can work as a standalone solution, and also it is integrated with other ERP systems as well. For example, this is the page like Synergy working on Acumatica ERP system, so they can work on the same page. And on your left, you can go to a different workspace, and on your right, you can manage Synergy. And this is a Synergy working on MyOB page. So this is another ERP system, and Synergy is integrated with this ERP system, MyOB, and work on the same page. And lastly, this is Synergy working on Sage Intacct pages. So this is how it looks like, and we are always we can always integrate any fields from your ERP system to Synergy and vice versa.